Yeah, it's time to go to work. Jerk of All Trades podcast is in the place and in your face. And you know we had to start that podcast off with a little preview for you. But first, what we got going on this week, Ray?
We have a fantastic show for you guys. And more than anything, we have the debut of the Jerk of All Trades Sober Podcast.
Oh, shit.
There is no altered perception on this week's episode of the Jerk of All Trades podcast.
How are we going to do it?
I think we're going to do it like we always do it, with swag,
You goddamn
with style, with wit, with humor, and a little bit of jerkism. I'm not really sure where I was going with that one, but yeah, we got a great show. We've got our UFC 213 wrap up. We've got our Great Balls of Fire wrap up, and we're gonna start the show off with something pretty fun. So yeah, and actually, I don't know if Eddie, did you tell him what we're about to do?
Not yet, I don't think.
I think you should.
Yes, the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather match coming up in August. The World Tour was lit as fuck. They had 4 press conferences in 4 different cities. All of them sold out. Couldn't get a ticket into these mugs. Over 18,000 people in each one of these things. That's like more people that go to like Raw and SmackDown combined these days.
For like a month, probably.
Yeah, no kidding, man. For a press conference. These guys aren't even fighting yet.
It was pretty hype, no
and
doubt.
It was great. Everybody knew going into this Conor McGregor was going to be the dominating factor in the press conferences and the shit talking. But people forget that Floyd Mayweather, you know, when he was coming up, he could talk his fair share of good shit too. So I thought Floyd held his own, but as a whole, I got to give it to Conor. Man, they started this thing off in LA. It was good there. They kind of got their feet wet. Conor wore his special suit that he had on, the fuck you pinstripe suit, which I enjoyed thoroughly. And
that was great, no doubt.
But the most hype it got was in Toronto. Toronto was crazy. I don't know if there's a lot of Irish people in Toronto or what, but they all had...
Toronto's always a good crowd, man. I mean,
Canada for sure.
I mean, dude, think about Toronto as like one of the best wrestling cities. Always, they're the heel crowd. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, the greatest match of all time happened in Toronto.
Hulk Hogan versus The Rock.
Yeah. So there you go. That proves your point immensely there. So, yeah, I mean, I was not very into this idea of these two guys fighting before this, but after the press conferences, I still think Floyd's going to box him up.
Oh, he's done.
With relative ease.
He's getting stomped.
But goddamn,
the lead up is great.
Conor McGregor made it fun as hell. Floyd Mayweather, he's got swag. You know, he does his thing.
He's got his swag.
He ain't sweating nobody with an 0-0 record. He's walking around with his coffee, right? So he's right. He's about to rock the mic after Conor did his thing. Takes a little sip of his coffee, and Conor McGregor just busts out with 2 sugars, bitch, 2 sugars, which is fucking hilarious. Because if I ever hung out with Conor McGregor, I'd be ashamed to have him yell 4 sugars, bitch, because I'd be dumping that sugar in that fucking coffee.
And Eddie actually has become, based on the Amazon sale,
Amazon Prime Day.
Get
days, it right.
Eddie is now a coffee drinker.
Oh, I love me some coffee. I had a good cup before I got here.
What do you got? A cup of haters over there?
A cup of haters?
Got a cup of haters.
We see a couple of haters.
So yeah.
But yeah, man, this thing was lit as fuck.
Yeah, it was. So I've made it clear. I'm not a UFC watcher regularly, and boxing, man, I haven't watched boxing since, I don't know, like Mike Tyson was biting people's ears off. And I think I've only seen Mayweather one time versus Pacquiao. I think that was the big fight that he had. Oh, geez,
you watched that?
I watched some of it, and I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, you didn't miss much. That fight sucked.
So yeah, boxing has never been my thing either. But these press conferences were definitely pretty entertaining. I believe I commented that this does pro wrestling better than pro wrestling does pro wrestling
right now. So
holy shit, this is the typical heel. Floyd Mayweather is the heel, and he's
like the $1 Million Man. Yeah.
Right, exactly. At some point, I believe he may put money into Conor McGregor's mouth probably after he knocks him out. But yeah, this is and Conor McGregor is definitely the baby face in this.
He's a
And
huge underdog, and people rally behind underdogs.
yeah,
all the time.
absolutely, absolutely. And he's Irish too, so I mean that automatically makes him an
The
underdog.
Irish fans
and I'm
are
Irish
crazy.
too, so but,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
But yeah, my roots in boxing are actually pretty deep. They're not as deep as my pro wrestling roots, but I remember as a kid watching Mike Tyson. My dad used to order the Mike Tyson pay-per-views every once in a while, and Mike Tyson was huge
Yeah,
back in the day. Like, you were fearful of the guy he was fighting because Tyson was just lighting everybody up. And then when my mom got HBO, when I was like a preteen, my favorite fighter was Roy Jones Jr. And I watched his rise, and I watched him become champion, and I watched his reign as champion. And the Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield era.
Yeah, I did watch a little. I watched a
eh.
little bit of that era too.
I'm more of a Roy Jones guy there. So, and then, Mike Tyson getting out of jail in, kind of boxing, but not really. Yeah, he had a handful of fights, and none of them were really all that remarkable, but
Very true.
it is what it is. And after that, boxing kind of fell off a cliff. They had Oscar De La Hoya. They had, after De La Hoya, it was Mayweather. And then after Mayweather, there's really nothing.
I mean, that was the rise of the UFC era too, and I think that boxing really took a big impact from that, just like pro wrestling did. So
yeah, and UFC's treading on their territory
yeah.
for sure. And it's so much better than boxing because boxing, you can only punch. And boxing is very crooked. Even the Olympics in boxing are very crooked. Of all things, you would think the Olympics would be sacred, but it's not. And UFC, you can kick, you can knee, you can elbow, you can choke, you can wrestle. You can do a lot of shit. So
do almost anything, right?
It's like playing an Atari with a joystick with boxing, and then UFC is like the PS4. It's just fucking limitless. So if it's boxing versus MMA, obviously I was a boxing fan first, but MMA has got my heart right now. I'm rolling with Conor. I got his back. I hope he does the damn thing. And if he wins, he might just stay in boxing, which, obviously he's not going to fucking win most likely.
I mean, he's 0-0 against...
He's got a puncher's chance, man. I mean, Floyd is 40 goddamn years old, and fucking Conor's only like, what, 28, 27, 29, some shit like that?
Yeah, very true. I remember when this first got announced and Conor McGregor posted a picture of Floyd Mayweather in which he looked about 100 years old.
Conor's got some big hands. Yeah. He's got a big-ass head. Fucking, he's strong as a motherfucker. He's got a little bit of speed, but more importantly, like a lot of people don't recognize, Conor McGregor is a very intelligent fighter. He's very, very smart, and I don't know what his game plan is going into this. I think he's just going to try to get it over with within the first few rounds, and if it doesn't happen,
what was CM Punk's strategy? Because maybe he'll have the opposite strategy of that.
He's got to try something new because that didn't work. Well, they gave him.
Well, it did work all right for Punk.
The guy he fought
for his bank account.
Oh man, that guy he fought was pretty legit though. But I'm not telling Conor what not to do here.
Yeah.
But Eddie the Jerk has a few ideas. If motherfucker ever listen to this podcast, if I was Conor, I would go 1 or 2 rounds just to gauge the speed and reactions of Floyd and see where he covers up. You're not going to hit Floyd Mayweather in the head. It's just not going to happen unless you punch it through the gloves. And even then, I don't know if it's worth wasting your power on that. I would see where he covers when you throw some fakes. Throw some fakes and see where he covers. Is he covering the left? Is he covering the right? Is he covering the top? Is he covering the bottom? And then try to use that, process that for round 2, round 3, round 4, instead of just going for it right away in the first round, because Floyd knows he knows you're coming for him right away, and he's just too damn smart and too damn slick for all that. Against the ropes, Floyd likes to peek his head up after covering. Once he feels the punches stop coming, he peeks his head up. So if Conor can get some fakes going up against the ropes there and catch him peeking, then he might be able to land a clean shot to his head. But other than that, I think Conor should just dig to the body. Use that. Conor's got power. Take that shit to the body, because at least you're going to hit him. At least you're going to hit him if you go to the body.
Very true.
Because you can, the Manny Pacquiao fight, just like you said, you watched that fight. Yep. He fucking swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. It was just 11 rounds of him fucking swinging and missing, and he maybe got one round.
And
of
Manny
good contact.
Pacquiao's had quite a few more boxing matches than Conor McGregor has.
Manny Pacquiao's a real boxer.
Eddie and Ray have had the same amount of boxing matches that Conor McGregor has had.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind at all times.
Yeah. Well, he sparred a lot more than we have, though. And he has more combat training than we do, too.
Yeah.
But
I have none.
Yeah. I mean, Conor, you ain't got to worry about the power. I don't think Floyd's trying to knock you out here. I think he's just trying to get that 5-0. But if you get tired, you're going to get clumsy, and he's going to take advantage of you. So I would just say be cautious of your stamina and try to process his reactions and where he's covering. And you save your power for the body, and then see what happens from there, because he's just too damn hard to hit in the head. He's just way too damn hard. But do what you got to do, Conor. Do the damn thing. If it only takes one punch to knock him out, go for his fucking head. I don't give a shit. But that's how Eddie the Jerk would do it if I had to do it. And I had Conor's skill, but I don't. But, I'm interested to see how he approaches this August 26th?
August 26th.
August 26th, live on pay-per-view.
Yeah, so, all right, so here's my take on this. So obviously I don't have the assessment of the match aside from the fact that, I mean, I think it's got to be pretty obvious for pretty much everybody that Floyd Mayweather is going to win this fight by, like, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess my biggest assessment in watching the press conferences was, first off, there's no way that this match can possibly live up to the hype of what is happening at these press conferences.
It can, if the fight is better than the press conference, this is the best boxing match of all time.
Right.
Because they were having the best press conferences of all time.
Right.
Like nothing even compares.
Yeah, these press conferences are unlike anything that I've ever seen.
Dude, just the crowd reaction alone on these press conferences was amazing.
Hype.
Amazing.
No doubt. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about with Eddie, and we had a little bit of a discussion the other night as we watched this, is so Ray the Jerk's opinion on this, and I want to make clear that I'm not saying that MMA is a work, that MMA is fake. I'm not saying that the matches or the fights are fake or fixed. Obviously, boxing has had some issues with that in the past.
And Ray's a long-time wrestling fan.
Yes, I am a longtime wrestling fan, and so
he has an eye for bullshit.
For sure. And so my assessment on this, I believe that Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, these are characters. And I think that that's got to be pretty evident in watching them and the way that they're interacting with each other. I mean, is there a little bit of animosity and bad blood? I'm sure. But I think that a lot of these hot button things that they're bringing up, Conor saying that Floyd Mayweather can't read. I believe there was some
that was a good line.
Some stuff.
He got him good with that one.
Yeah, there's stuff bordering.
My favorite was when he picked up the backpack and he's like, "That's it? That's all the money you got here? $5,000?"
The flag thing from the Toronto thing.
Oh, dude.
That
was hype level 100 right there. It didn't get any better because in the moment, I thought that shit was about to hit the fan right there.
Yeah.
I thought Conor was going to swing on him when he grabbed the fucking flag.
Yeah. So my opinion on all that. And now we had the Floyd Mayweather had a drop the F bomb and not fuck on Conor McGregor, insinuating that Conor McGregor might swing both ways and not right and left.
Republican and Democrat.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel like watching this stuff, I mean, there's clearly so much money on the line, and you've got Showtime and you've got UFC and you've got the WBA, and I feel like there's no way that they're just giving these guys complete free reign out there. I think obviously they're giving them a lot more free reign than WWE gives to their guys these days, but I think that they definitely have talking points, and I think that there are developed characters for these guys because, I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, MMA, UFC is entertainment.
You think they just developed these characters for this press conference?
No, I mean, I think Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather already had a bit of this going on. I was going to say, for sure.
Floyd Mayweather has been Money Mayweather for like almost 10 years now.
Right, but this is to the next level, and this, like I said, the stuff like the flag thing and the book bag with the money thing.
Yeah, well, Floyd has done that before too with Mexican fighters.
I can't imagine.
He's worn sombreros and ponchos to fights to hype up the fights and shit.
Right, and once again, I mean,
he's playing a character.
It's entertainment. Yeah. It's entertainment, and they're, I'm not saying that that's not partially who these people are, because I mean, just like pro wrestling, the best characters are the ones that are extensions of that person and who they really are, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And so I think that's definitely I'm sure that those are elements of these guys, but I think that they're definitely building those elements up as they should. Don't get me wrong. I think they definitely should do that.
It would really be boring if they didn't.
Right. I mean, you would have, whatever boxing probably used to be, just two random guys thrown in the ring and, punch each other in the head. And hey, that worked at the time, but yeah, I mean, things are a lot different right now and entertainment is different. And so, yeah, it's just interesting for me to see, just like I said, I mean, and I'm not hating on it at all for it. I actually think it's great. I mean, these press conferences were better than any shitty wrestling press conference that I've seen in forever, or any wrestling promo that I've seen in the longest time. And honestly, I mean, I said it before and even more so now. I mean, I'm definitely, as not a fan of either one of these sports, I'm going to want to watch this fight.
Oh, so, everybody's watching this shit.
So I mean,
even if you're
doing a great job.
You say you're not going to watch it, you're fucking going to watch it. Yeah. Everybody, the closer it gets, they got these Showtime all access shows. They're going to start filming these all access shows. I think they're like 45 minutes or an hour. It's going to be just like the press conferences, but even more in depth. And then there's going to be the weigh-ins. The weigh-ins are going to be fucking crazy for this shit.
Wait. The like Damon and Sean.
No, the weigh-in.
Oh, okay.
You motherfucker.
Oh, they have a new shitty movie coming on Netflix where they're naked in the whole movie.
Blank Man too.
Is that like Ken?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a dick.
So, I mean, as long as they don't fucking hit each other before this thing starts, everything should be fine. But win, lose, or draw, we should all be cognizant of the fact that if Money Mayweather fought Conor McGregor inside the octagon, Conor McGregor would play with Floyd Mayweather like a fucking cat plays with a fucking wounded mouse up in this bitch. It wouldn't even be a fight. So with that said, we all should remember too that when Eddie the Jerk gives you UFC picks, you take that shit to the bank, son. This is your UFC 213 review. What a great night. This was, even though, Ray, this is crazy. Remember when we had our discussion about UFC fighters on their periods?
Yes, I did actually.
The main event of this card was supposed to be two women fighting for the championship. One of the women had to withdraw because of, I can't remember, but it was like undisclosed reasons.
Oh my God.
Dana White said Amanda Nunes was cleared to fight by doctors, but she still refused to fight. Could this possibly have been?
She was hospitalized with an undefined illness.
Yes. So did she get her period?
Oh my God. If I willed,
and was unable to fight?
I willed her period into the world.
You put it out there.
Oh my God.
No.
I apologize.
I don't think it was a period. I think it was something else. I actually heard what it could be and what it was, but it wasn't that. But no. It was the first thing I thought of.
Yes.
When she pulled out of the fight, because I couldn't think of anything else. Like, what would actually be the reason? Because fighters, like, it's only like 5% of the time they actually make the weight, because she made the weight and then don't fight. It's like, it would have to be, and usually if that's the reason why they don't fight, it's because the doctor said they couldn't fight, because you can still make the weight, but the doctor can still say, you know, your liver's fucked up, your kidneys are fucked up, whatever, something's wrong, and we're not going to let you fight. So super interesting to find out the news. And then, of course, Valentina Shevchenko, the girl who was the challenger for the title, didn't have an opponent. So you know who tried to step up and fight this chick?
Ronda Rousey?
Your girl, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She's freaking 10 pounds smaller than Shevchenko. Actually, it might be 20 pounds lighter, the division. These two have actually fought before in the Muay Thai circuit overseas in Europe and Asia. But your girl, Joanna, tried to fight Valentina in a non-title match. But Joanna couldn't get cleared to fight for the title. So they do have rules. It's not like the old school UFC where you could fight anybody anytime, for whatever reason.
As it should be. Yeah.
So if you're a fan of the JOT podcast and you're a fan of the UFC, you gotta tune in to these Eddie the Jerk breakdowns. I do my best. I'm not an expert or anything like that, but I give it to you
damn
straight.
Close to it.
And I went 3 for 3 in my picks. I picked Anthony Showtime Pettis to defeat Jim Miller by decision, and that's exactly what happened. I picked Alistair Overeem to defeat Fabricio Verdum by decision. Slightly controversial, but the payout doesn't care.
Absolutely.
So all that matters is the money. And Mayweather,
Gambling is illegal, Eddie.
Mayweather and McGregor would approve of that. It's only illegal in 48 states.
Oh, okay. Is it illegal in the state that you live in?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
I didn't read the fine print.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then in the main event, I picked Robert Whittaker over Yoel Romero. Unfortunately, it was not a 4th round TKO. They did go to decision, and Robert Whittaker took the decision, pretty clear cut, 3 rounds to 2. It's exactly how I thought the fight would play out. Yoel Romero came out strong first 2 rounds. Easily. First 2 rounds go to him. Robert Whittaker takes over in the 3rd because Yoel Romero slowed down again. He always slows down in his fights, and you would think an Olympic athlete would be able to go the distance, but unfortunately, it's not the case. Yoel is very explosive. He's also closing in on 40 years old as well, same age as Floyd Mayweather. And after that 2nd round, it just starts to go downhill. Great fucking fight, though. I love this fight. I was super hyped watching this fight. Yoel Romero landed a nice oblique kick, or it was more like a jumping side kick to Robert Whittaker's left leg, and he jacked up his leg pretty good in the very first round. It was like one of the first strikes he landed, and Robert Whittaker almost fought this whole fight on one leg because he couldn't bounce very well, and he couldn't explode off that leg like he could. Robert Whittaker's best punch is his left hook, and he couldn't cut that left hook because of his left knee was bad. And he just dug down, and kept fighting. And, he was down on the cards. He was down 0-2, 0-2 on the cards. It's so easy to quit when you are down on the cards like that. But he dug deep like a true champion, man. Came back in that 3rd, came back in that 4th. Actually, the 4th round, which I called a finish in, was the closest round for Robert Whittaker to get a finish, but he didn't quite get it. He was close, but he didn't quite get it. And now he will be facing the current middleweight champion, Michael Bisping, for the middleweight championship, probably November or December of this year, if I had to guess. Robert Whittaker's leg is all jacked up from that kick. And great night of fights. The Alistair Overeem and Fabricio Verdum fight was very good. 2-1 for Overeem, kind of how I expected it. I thought he would win 2 out of 3. I didn't know which way or how, but super close fight. Great fight between both guys, and I could watch these 2 fight again, honestly. So, if they want to put that together, I ain't mad at it. And then Milwaukee's own Anthony Pettis looking great against Jim Miller. Jim Miller putting on a fight once again. This was classic Jim Miller. He doesn't give up, and he comes at you and comes at you and comes at you. Anthony Pettis, man, had the stamina. He had the kicks. He had everything going on, and hopefully he can keep this momentum going on because he was looking great. This is one of the best performances for Anthony Pettis in quite some time, so definitely looking forward to checking out more Anthony Pettis in the future. A couple more Milwaukee guys. Bilal Muhammad won his fight against Jordan Mean. He looked outstanding as well. Bilal Muhammad, man, he's got a little dog in him. I like it. He's rough, and he goes for it. So definitely digging that Bilal Muhammad style. And unfortunately, Gerald Meerschaert lost via TKO to Thiago Santos, and he'll bounce back. He'll be all right. So
keep your head up.
Absolutely. So, if you guys like that UFC, you got to tune into these podcasts with UFC preview. You might win some money. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Maybe Eddie the Jerk will start having to sell his UFC predictions.
You never know. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good Patreon idea.
Oh, ooh. Well, Patreon action maybe coming.
I'll give it to you. I'm feeling myself right now because I did very well for myself.
Eddie's a little cocky now, but it's okay.
Well, when it's in Vegas, I feel great. But whenever it's like Brazil or like Australia,
I think that's one of the states where it's actually legal.
Yeah,
Nevada.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one more, and I don't think it's Wisconsin, but
no, Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah, but
with that boy Chris Christie, big shout out to you.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Last but not least, fucking UFC 214 is going to be sick.
Sick, nasty.
I believe it's July 28th, but don't quote me on it. There will be a preview on it. John Bones Jones versus Daniel Cormier 2, the rematch. It's going to be sick. I can't wait. I got to break this shit down. I got to watch some film, and I'm coming with it. There's 3 title fights, and I am super hyped for this for this fight card.
Get hype, stay hype.
Damn right. So, you know,
Yeah.
there's a fun fact to all this that I wanted to bring up, and that's your boy Eddie the Jerk. He does all of his Jerk of All Trades prep while listening to audiobooks on audible.com. And we'll be right back after Ray tells you more about the Jerk of All Trades special offer.
You still remember the first time you caught a glimpse of her. How could you forget? You were but a budding blossom, and her equally budding bosom called to you. You felt tingles, shivers, shakes, and blood flowing into areas that began to transform with the wafting air of her essence. Your very first crush, the local librarian. You imagined the things you would do to her, the things she would do to you, what she looked like beyond those conservative clothes that society surely forced her to wear. Yet as the years went on, things began to change. She began to change. You began to change. And so did technology. If only there were a parallel. You want to continue to cram your head full of stories, knowledge, and whimsical fantasies, but can't bring yourself to face the withering beauty that once hinted at an unknown primal urge that would consume you. Well, now, you'll never have to again. Audible is a new way to read, scratch, listen to your favorite and soon-to-be favorite books in audio form. Audible has over 180,000 audiobooks to choose from. Many are read by famous folks you know and love, and are available to you via the free Audible app. With that many choices, you are sure to find a book you're going to love. Now, on to the good stuff. You want a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook? Well, of course you do. You'd be crazy to say no. So head your happy little fingers over to audible.com/JOAT podcast and sign up for your free month and get your audiobook courtesy of the Jerks. Once again, that's audible.com/JOAT podcast. My personal choice, Timothy Leary's seminal book, The Psychedelic Experience, a manual based on the Tibetan Book of the Dead. It's definitely going to change your life for the better. Thank God. Or the Matrix creating billionaire aliens, you'll never have to be confronted with the fleeting nature of beauty or try and figure out the clearly demonic Dewey Decimal System. All right, we are back after we heard Ray the Jerk telling a little story about his first crush, his first love. And we would love to hear your story. What was your first love? And if it can somehow tie into Audible, we'd love to hear it even more. So
hell yeah.
So anyway, we are back, and we had our UFC recap, and we had our Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather preview. But last weekend we had another big event, which we previewed on episode 16, and we're going to cover that now, which is WWE. Say it with me now, guys. Great Balls of Fire, the worst named pay-per-view of all time. Terrible name, and I will tell you that it wasn't a bad card. It wasn't an amazing card, but it was actually not all that bad. So we're just going to kind of run through this, talk about, name the match off, who won, and then kind of talk about it. So
sure, just give our thoughts on it and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like Ray said, it wasn't bad, it wasn't great. It was somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, there were some hits, there were some misses, but yeah, it was an all right event. So starting off was Neville defeated Akira Tozawa, which I guess he's with Titus O'Neil now. So
yeah,
that was actually in the pre-show. I actually didn't watch this match. I thought it would have been on the main card when I watched it on the network, and it wasn't, so I didn't watch it live.
I have a theory why this is like the cruiserweight match is always the pre-show. It's because they gotta tape the ropes purple. That takes time.
Yeah, that is definitely possible. I think it's the same reason why the cruiserweight matches were on the first hour of Nitro. They were long matches, would fill out time and get the crowd pumped up. The crowd wasn't invested in the story as much.
Yeah.
But you know, you
Very
have
true.
guys, you know,
You gotta have a good
doing
opener.
fancy flips and stuff. And I mean, I know that that's minimizing what the cruiserweights do or could do. But sadly, that's still where they're at, and that's probably a reason why I actually didn't know this last week. But Austin Aries actually asked for his release from WWE because he was forced to be a cruiserweight, and he did not want to be pigeonholed into that. And so, yeah, I can't blame him. I mean,
I was just about to say the same thing. Can't blame him.
yeah, can't blame him.
Can't blame him.
Austin Aries is an awesome wrestler, and he can definitely do much more than be in the cruiserweight division. So nothing against the cruiserweight division. I think Neville's doing a good job here.
At least he was able to get out of that shitty contract.
Yeah, I don't know if
it was a shitty contract, but
I'm sure it wasn't that shitty, but you know, you gotta respect someone who, you know, doesn't want to do something that they're not feeling. I think back to Ray the Jerk's favorite wrestler of all time, Mr. Scott Levy, Raven, back in the day. Eric Bischoff had like a big
I remember
99. He, you know, basically brought everyone in and said, hey, if you're not happy here, there's the door. You can leave. I'll let you out of your contract. And Raven was the only guy that said, okay. And then he actually left.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
All that WCW money.
And you know what's funny, actually, hearing him talk about it now, he was like, yeah, I should have actually stayed because there was no goddamn reason why I should have gone back. So I guess, so, you know, went to ECW and it was whatever. And then he went to WWE or WWF, which was a pretty subpar run for him. But I guess
it wasn't terrible. It just didn't compare to his ECW run.
Not even close. He never really got a good chance to get off the ground or be able to have the creative freedom that he needed. But the reason why he actually says he should have stayed in WCW is not just because of the money, but because he's really good friends with Vince Russo. And Vince Russo ended up taking over the book, and Raven would have probably been thrown into the main event mix and probably would have been able to.
He probably would have been the leader of the New Blood.
He could have easily won the title. I mean, come on. Goddamn, Jeff Jarrett was the fucking champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have been the Jarrett of that little era there.
Yeah, but instead he decided to leave. So, but yeah, I mean, I respect someone that's willing to stand by their morals and say, hey, I'm just not feeling this. And granted, I'm making a lot of money, but I'm just not happy with it. And so, yeah, that's what Austin Aries did. I know that's not this Neville match because we didn't watch it, so we really don't have much to say on it. But I'm sure it was a pretty decent cruiserweight match. But I will say that I like Neville in the cruiserweight division because he brings a little bit of psychology and stuff.
Dude, you could tell Neville's pissed. Like every time he walks to the ring, he's like, "Fuck it, this bullshit, purple ropes and shit. What the fuck am I doing?"
I mean, he does wear purple tights, and I believe he initially came out with a purple cape. And supposedly was going to be made into Mighty Mouse.
Like everything Austin Aries did, he's thinking. He's just every time he walks to the ring, he's thinking it. He's like, man, I'm gonna fucking leave this fucking place. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Fucking do my own fucking shit.
Man, he looks
so
swears
angry
a lot.
Doesn't he look so angry when he walks to the ring?
I mean, he's a heel, so
he does a great job. He does a great job. It's just like you said, he's pigeonholed, and he's a great wrestler, and he shouldn't have to be.
Yeah, he was the NXT champion, and now he's in the cruiserweight division. So I mean, at least he's the champ. That's good for him, right?
Oh yeah,
maybe.
I would know because I'm the champ of the WrestleMania picks.
But you're not. You're not the champ. You're not the champ of the Great Balls of Fire picks.
No, I am not. Well, I did get this one right though.
We both got that one right.
Yeah,
we both called Neville,
this one right.
And Neville did win, so didn't even have to watch it. So, match number 2 is Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins, and the victor of this match was Mr. Bray Wyatt.
Ouch.
And so, actually, Ray the Jerk actually guessed Bray Wyatt to win this match, and he did. And Eddie picked Seth Rollins, and he lost.
Rock solid match. Pretty good psychology.
Yeah.
Not too
I liked it better on the second watch. I watched it the first time and I half-assed it. And watching it the second time, I liked it more. I thought this was one of the better Bray Wyatt matches that I've seen. He seems to be in better shape now, and there were some fun spots in this, and I really liked the finish. I thought the finish was a well played out heel finish. They played on the psychology of
a little old school.
Seth Rollins having the injured knee, and then Bray Wyatt went to the outside.
The thumb to the eye.
And the thumb to the eyes. Referee didn't see it, came in, hit his finish, and won the match. So it was a good match.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
I lost, and I'm still not mad.
It's all right. In the next.
I lost this one too.
Wait. You actually you picked Enzo for this?
You goddamn right. I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I'm not fazed by these haters.
Got
They don't
got
faze me.
got a couple of haters over here. So Eddie,
How you doing?
Eddie decided that he's gonna get the Enzo Amore.
I gotta buy
Amore
that shit. I'm looking it up right now.
Cup of haters shirt. So
WWE.com.
now that he drinks coffee, he was like, "What is that? A cup of coffee?"
It looks like a cup of coffee.
It does. It's probably a cup of coffee for sure.
Cup of Joe.
I think it's actually a cup of haters, but anyway, so we had Enzo versus Big Cass. There's a whole story with this where Big Cass basically was, making it seem like they were both getting knocked out backstage, but it was actually Big Cass was, just laying down. They had the footage, and he was, taking Enzo out.
They got WWE fidget spinners.
Oh man, we might have to get one of those.
They got a certified G.
Yeah, might have to do that. So anyway, I will say the first thing that I want to mention on this is what a fucking promo by Enzo Amore.
Oh, for sure.
This guy, I told Eddie, I called this. He is the most organically over babyface since Daniel Bryan.
Oh, dude, you nailed it. Yeah, you nailed the shit.
He, in my opinion, could be the next top star if they give him the chance. I will say that his in-ring is, it's all right, but what he does do well and what he got to do in this match is he got to sell a lot. And I'll get to that, but I want to talk about the promo. So Enzo comes out and he cuts a promo that is just hype as hell. The fans were all over it. I loved the fact that when Enzo got ready to talk, the fans were cheering and they just stopped. Like, you don't see that enough. I mean, usually you see the crowd not making a lot of noise in general, but they didn't want him. They didn't do anything like that. They respected him and they wanted to hear what he said. He had a great promo in which he talked about Frank Sinatra. He's actually got Frank Sinatra's mugshot tattooed on his arm.
That's a great tattoo.
Which I thought was tremendous. But he was quoting Frank Sinatra's song, and he tied it together with what was happening in the exact months that it was happening. And it was just absolutely hype. And there was a particular moment where he was talking about Big Cass stomping on his dreams and how he was a dreamer, and the crowd got really hype, and you could just see this change in Enzo. And man, he was just feeding off of that emotion. And man, I got goosebumps watching it. I watched it a couple times now. I actually had to rewind the promo. I was not really paying attention to it the first time that I was watching it, and I actually had to rewind it. So
yeah, it's deep. It's really good.
Very good promo. And then we'll talk about.
That's an excellent promo. That is even for nowadays, that's an excellent promo.
The last promo that I could think of that was that good was The Miz on Talking Smack. So
I don't know about that, but I can't find my Cup of Haters shirt. So you gotta get on that, Vince.
Yeah. He needs his Cup of Haters shirt.
They have one, but it's like it's the Enzo and Big Cass one.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not feeling that.
Need a solo one.
I want the one just the cup on it.
Yeah,
just the cup.
So yeah, the match itself, though, I mean, this was literally old school big guy heel versus a baby face, and Big Cass just dominated this entire match. Enzo did not get a single move in the whole match. I actually asked at one point, did he get a hope spot? He didn't even get a hope spot. He literally just got beat down the entire match. And what I liked about it, though, is that this is the last time I could remember was Daniel Bryan, and this is really sad when we talked about Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather and how it does pro wrestling better than pro wrestling does now. And you have a very defined heel in Floyd Mayweather, and you have a very defined babyface in Conor McGregor. And wrestling has really been struggling with that. So often you have the fans are just watching the match, and they get to cheer for whoever they want and boo whoever they want. And you have like Roman Reigns, who they're trying to make that. And, obviously the fans aren't feeling Roman Reigns as a babyface, but they are feeling Enzo as a babyface, and they are feeling Big Cass as a heel because of the great work from Enzo. And, I'm sure Big Cass is doing a decent job too, but the fans are really behind Enzo. And man, the other thing I want to talk about is that Enzo took what in my little childhood memories, I had remembered WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. And I had remembered in my head, the Ultimate Warrior lifting Hulk Hogan up in a military press and throwing him to the outside, and Hogan, barely getting back in the ring. And on rewatching later, obviously that definitely did not happen. Hulk Hogan was never going to take that bump.
Nah.
But Enzo did take that bump. So it'd be interesting if Hogan was the biggest babyface of that era. And what if Enzo was the biggest babyface of this era? So
cool story, brother.
Yeah.
Cool story,
let me
bro.
tell you something, brother. I would never ever take that spot, dude.
Yeah, that's not gonna work, brother.
No. So, but anyway, yeah, it was a good match for what it needed to be, and I'd be interested to see what happens with Enzo now. Does he go away for a little bit? I don't know, but yeah, good match, and I called
Hopefully
that
he comes
too.
back. Hopefully he comes to SmackDown. Maybe he gets a chance to shine a little bit more. Actually, who knows and who cares? Because Raw is 3 hours long. If he can't get on Raw, then I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Seriously, it's way too goddamn long.
I watched Raw and it was 3 hours. I was live tweeting that shit, and about halfway through, I tapped out. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, man.
It was like he was putting the kata hajime. He couldn't handle it anymore. He had to tap out.
I tried. It was all right. But goddamn, 3 hours? No, thank you. I just can't do it. I can't sit there for no damn 3 hours. Now, like if I had Hulu or like the damn, that accelerated live stream or whatever you call it, download, then maybe, without the commercials goes by a little bit faster, but still, man, fuck.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Raw is a little bit like Roddy Piper. It's going to put you in the sleeper. So,
all right, cool. Yeah, moving along.
Yeah. Next up, we had Cesaro and Sheamus defeated the Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt, 4-3 in a 30-minute Iron Man match. And man, this was a good match.
This was really good. I enjoyed this match thoroughly.
Yeah, Eddie actually pointed out, I actually missed it on my first watch, and I had to rewind it. But the intro to the match was tremendous.
Oh, the first fall.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was great. Great. The little play action fake out there to the kick.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Thought Cesaro
Because the whole psychology to the Iron Man match is to get a lead. You want to get that first fall so that everything's comfortable.
And they got it right away.
See, that's why, the Iron Man match at WrestleMania was great, but man, it was 0-0
to go
for
the whole
1
thing.
hour.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like, give them some stuff to work with. Give the fans something to cheer for. Give them something to be anxious about. But yeah, that's why I think this match did, and I think they did it very well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so that kind of the intro was they thought Cesaro was legal, but it was actually Sheamus. So yeah, Cesaro ran and tried to attack Matt, and then Sheamus ran and hit him with the brogue kick, and he got the first fall up on him. So
yeah, first 30 seconds, 1-0.
Yeah, so it was a good match. Definitely got hyped towards the end as well.
4-3
it was
for Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yeah, it was 3-3, and then they kind of had the similar thing with
like a minute left, I think.
With Cesaro, Cesaro was actually legal and came in and he got the fourth fall.
Yeah,
with only 29 seconds left.
Jeff Hardy hit the swanton on Sheamus and went for the cover, but Sheamus wasn't legal, and so Cesaro crept in from the outside and got the pin on him.
Yeah. And then they just didn't have enough time. But let's also talk about the other amazing moment in this match when Matt and Jeff, Sheamus was down, and they had what I thought was going to be the RVD and Sabu versus Hayabusa and Hakushi from what was that?
ECW?
Heatwave 98, I believe that was that. But kind of the dive, and
it's like the top rope rolling thunder.
Right.
But there's no roll. It's just all thunder.
Yeah. But Matt decided he was going to do like a Bret Hart style elbow, and he did, but he also busted his fucking head against.
He decided to smash his face against Sheamus'
Yeah, it was
chin.
not the most brilliant decision on his part. He
Ouch.
busted his fucking eye open. He started bleeding pretty profusely after that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was not.
Yeah, he got that one the hard way.
Living up to his name, Broken Matt Hardy. Broken orbital bone Matt Hardy. So
yeah, we both got this one right, and still your tag team champions, Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yes. And then next up we had Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. Sasha Banks actually won this match via a count out. I actually got this wrong.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I knew that Alexa Bliss was going to keep the title, so I should probably get like a half point for it. I'll be honest.
Sure. You won anyways.
Yeah, this is a match that I very, very much half-ass watched, and I'm sure it was.
Yeah, this was a decent match. Alexa Bliss is a little more high-flying than I thought. Well, I actually didn't really know what to expect from her. Yeah, these two girls can wrestle, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. It's just, not much to say about it, really. It's just...
I have one thing to say, but we'll wait.
That was after the match?
Yes, after the match.
Oh, that was brilliant.
So we had our count out, and Sasha Banks was pretty angry, and so she decides to attack Alexa Bliss, So she's beating her down. She's throwing her into the screen up on the rampway. And then at some point, Alexa Bliss is up on the table and she gets pushed off and she's like down, below the announcer's table. And Sasha Banks goes for what they call the double knees. But what Ray likes to call it is the single vagina. So it's literally the leaping vagina attack to the face. And Ray the Jerk has determined that he needs to face Sasha Banks in a finisher match.
It's like a really, really awesome version of the Luthez press.
It depends on who's doing it.
It's such a better move than the Luthez press.
I mean,
it's kind of like it.
Yeah, is this kind of like? I mean, it's like the Bronco Buster, right? So it depends on who's doing it, right?
Well, you're not in the corner though.
Or the stink face, it depends. Oh, is it Rikishi or is it like one of the divas?
Or Trish Stratus, yeah.
Right? So who would do the Bronco Buster? Wasn't there a woman that did the Bronco Buster? Somebody from ECW, right? Didn't Francine do the Bronco Buster?
I think after a while, all the chicks started doing the Bronco Buster.
Yeah, and they all did the stink face.
Yeah.
And now these days they do the single vagina.
Yeah, the flying vagina.
The flying vagina attack.
Oh, that sounds a little disrespectful, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Sasha Banks, we're not calling you a vagina.
No. We just thought it was funny. Your knees are not connecting with her face or any part of her body at all. So
it was just like a very aggressive way to get that action going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like a standing whoopee cushion a little bit.
You could have asked nicely. That's all.
Yeah. So anyway, serviceable enough match, but yeah, we got it wrong. But
oh yeah, that's all right.
It is what it is. Next up, we have The Miz with Maurice, and now he's with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas too, which I'm not sure why. And he defeated Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, we got this one right. The Miz doing the thing with the Intercontinental. Pretty good match.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, once again, I will say it, man. I want to like Dean Ambrose, and I don't like his in-ring work. I really don't.
You know what it was for me here? After the tag team match was really good. And then they put the Divas on after that. So it was kind of like I was still up from that tag match. So it was hard to follow that tag match with some Divas. And then once the Miz came out with this IC stuff with Dean Ambrose, I was just ready for Brock. This is probably like 2-something hours into it. And it was just like, just give me Brock already.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go home. So
were you at home when you watched this?
Let's see. I think I was.
All right then.
Yeah, I think I was. I think I got the illegal free 99 on this one.
Oh my goodness.
Not the greatest quality by any means, but
that's all good, man.
Got the job done. I had to do my research for the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Even though Ray the Jerk got Eddie a 3-month subscription to the WWE Network.
That's right. I could have used that.
Christmas. Eddie decided to go free 99 on this thing, so it's only $9.99.
I'm waiting for that damn Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg 2 for WWE
Goldberg
Network.
2. It would be 3.
Or 3. I'm sorry.
That's not happening.
No. But it's hard for me to commit
those
to
expire?
the WWE Network. I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's got a code on it. If the code expires, I want a refund.
Yeah. You got it for free.
I want your refund.
Okay. Yeah.
So how did The Miz win? He won by interference or something? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Well, and still you're Intercontinental Champion, The Miz.
Yeah. Yeah. So, hold on. We're on the thing. Came out. Whatever. Yeah. I was gonna read, but yeah, whatever. It's
Nobody
not that
cares.
important.
We got enough complaints for doing WWE last week, so let's just keep it moving.
Next match, we had Braun Strowman defeating Roman Reigns in an ambulance match. That seemed
another
to go
one we
on
got wrong.
Forever. I will tell you that I was glad I got this wrong. I actually celebrated as I saw the finish of this match.
I wish I could have seen this with you, because I did.
You did see this with me.
Okay, yeah.
You told me to fast forward through the whole thing, which I did.
I thought that was the second time.
No, that was the first time I had watched it, and I celebrated because I thought there was no chance that Roman Reigns was not going to win this match.
Yeah, Ray marked out for that shit.
But then after the match, oh my god.
I just thought it was hilarious how Roman ended up in the ambulance.
That finish was so funny. Oh my god. That was silly as hell.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You
But-
gotta get in there. You gotta get in there.
I want to mention that Roman Reigns, after he had Braun Strowman in the ambulance, he then goes to the driver's side door and he throws out the driver, who I swear, I'm going to go back and watch, was wearing a Make America Great Again hat. I swear he was wearing that. I remember I said, oh wait, that was probably just an ambulance driver hat. And then I realized, wait a minute, ambulance drivers don't have a specific hat. It was definitely to Make America Great Again hat.
With the amount of heat Roman Reigns gets, you would think he would be a Trump supporter.
Yes.
You know?
There's actually some indie wrestlers right now that have like political gimmicks like that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So
Yeah.
they got some coverage during
Definitely.
the election. But yeah.
So yeah, Roman Reigns gets in a damn ambulance, proceeds to attempt murder on Braun Strowman.
Murder was a case that they gave me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this
Because
was
it's a 187 on Braun Strowman.
ass.
Jesus Christ. He literally tries to murder Braun Strowman, except for the fact that he crushes the back of the ambulance. But, you know, wouldn't Braun Strowman be like further up? Because apparently he
Yeah, I
was,
don't know.
because he was at, you know, after what must have been the longest segment ever. So they actually had Heath Slater fight Kurt Hawkins.
Oh yeah.
And they split screen it for a while, and then eventually they just cut it off, and they just had the jaws of life coming in to break open the door that could have clearly been opened. And
Do you think if Austin Aries got the split screen, he would stand for that shit?
probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Apparently, they never even showed the finish of the Heath Slater Kurt Hawkins match, and I guess it had a really good finish from what Heath Slater had tweeted out. So,
I just
what did Heath Slater say that he did?
a Canadian destroyer off the top rope.
He did a Canadian destroyer off the top rope. He defeated Kurt
And
Hawkins.
there's no way to prove it because they didn't show the finish on the
you
pay-per-view.
you don't know.
This just goes to show where you stand with Vince when you get shit on like this.
Yeah. Well.
God damn it.
And you know what though? The fans were chanting for Heath Slater too.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, they were chanting. We want.
Damn. No, they were chanting, we want Lesnar.
Oh, are you
That's-
sure they were not chanting "We want Slater"? Because they actually chant that. That's something they chant.
They might have. I could have swore it was we want Lesnar at
well,
that point. Because I know I wanted Lesnar
Yeah,
by then.
Yeah.
After that tag match, it was over for me.
Yeah, that was way too long with the Roman Reigns Braun Strowman thing. I loved Kurt Angle's reaction. Was just
Kurt Angle
tremendous.
was good there. Kurt Angle was good.
Coming in looking like a giant thumb in a suit. Can't move his neck whatsoever. And yeah, he was very enjoyable.
You wouldn't
in
say
thing.
that to his face, though.
Of course I wouldn't say.
Oh.
And keeping in mind, I absolutely love Kurt Angle. He's
We
one of my
all
favorite
love
wrestlers
Kurt
of all
Angle.
time. He's
Kurt
amazing.
Angle is the shit, son.
Yes. Jimmy
I wish he
Crackcorn, and
would've-
I don't care.
I wish he would have went to UFC though.
Yeah. Well,
I think he would have done well in UFC.
very possible. Very possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So then we have our main event of the evening, Mr. Brock Lesnar, in no surprise, defeating
Small Joe.
for the for the WWE Universal Championship.
That never gets old.
I love you, Scott Steiner. You are the best in the world. That is what WWE needs these days. Literally, he is the complete antithesis of a WWE promo these days.
Oh, I know it.
We actually sat back earlier as we were prepping for the podcast, and we watched. Actually, Eddie didn't even watch. He could only hear about 45 straight minutes of Scott Steiner promos. We got stuck in a
Slinging
YouTube.
heat.
Scott
Steiner, son.
We got
What
stuck.
you know about that Scott Steiner promo?
I believe that Samoa Joe, or Sloppy Joe, as he's known to Scott Steiner, only had about a 33rd and a percent.
I'm so disappointed. I missed all those TNA Scott Steiner promos when they were happening.
The math promo, the 33rd and a third % chance. I believe that Scott Steiner actually had 144 and 2/3% chance of winning. I wonder what the odds would be if Brock fought Scott Steiner. That would be an interesting one.
In a real fight or WWE?
No, and I don't know. Whatever.
Oh.
A promo off. What about
Scott Steiner,
Enzo?
destroy him in a fucking
Enzo
promo.
versus Scott Steiner in a promo off.
That would be hot.
That would be heated.
That'd be hot.
That would be heated. So
I'm tuning in for that. $1.99. I'm in.
free 99. Eddie is
Nah.
in. But yeah, anyway, point being, so this match started pretty damn hype. Samoa Joe on the attack right away. Just fist of fury. He gave him, I guess.
Well, he jumped him before the match started.
Right. Gave him like a rock bottom thing through the announce table, but didn't go onto the table. And the crowd was pretty hype.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. That was a good open.
That was a great open. And then it kind of just turned into a pretty typical Brock Lesnar match. A lot of German suplexes, which, goddamn, Samoa Joe, I give you credit. He takes them like a fucking champ. A lot of people get lazy with the German suplex taking. He definitely does not. And that's a lot of weight coming down on him. Although he is actually in quite a bit better shape than he has been in the past. But yeah, I mean, it was only 6 minutes and 25 seconds. And my biggest disappointment in this whole thing, I mean, they did make Samoa Joe look all right. It's not like he got dominated the whole entire match. He got quite a bit of offense.
Oh, sure.
He had Brock Lesnar on the ropes. He was, trying to choke him out with the Coquina clutch. But then he got one F5 and he lost. One F5.
Samoa Joe looked good here.
No doubt.
I even with Roman Reigns and like maybe Braun Strowman, it's like, I'm buying it, but not really. It's just enough to get by. But with Samoa Joe, it's like he could win, right? He could beat Brock Lesnar easily. Not easily, but
it's a good matchup.
Yeah,
no
it's
doubt.
a good matchup. It's not far-fetched if Samoa Joe beats Brock Lesnar. But like he's like the only guy. The Miz, no, sorry. Seth Rollins, not buying it. Like you could name everybody but Samoa Joe.
There was a time.
It's like Samoa Joe, John Cena, and I don't know.
I mean, they made John Cena not look like he could beat him either. I mean, after he ended the streak and then that SummerSlam where Brock just absolutely dominated John Cena, they had really booked themselves into a corner where it was like, no one looks like they can even touch Brock Lesnar. They had just booked themselves into a corner.
Yeah.
And then they kind of let off that with Brock a little bit. They had Goldberg squash him. But I mean, still, there's not a lot of people on the roster right now that could believably beat Brock Lesnar. And
Samoa Joe was
the guy.
One of those guys.
And I mean, my complaint in this is you just blew that load at Great Balls of Fire in 6 minutes, and you had him lose to one F5. I mean, granted, Samoa Joe didn't look like a fucking chump, but I mean, he didn't look as good as he could have. I mean, I know it's a Brock match, so it doesn't have to be 20 minutes, but I would have dealt with like 12 would have been okay. The women's match got 12.
For the long term, one F5 is good because that leaves the door open for, more later on. Because if he had taken 3 F5s here in a WrestleMania style finishers match, where do you go from there? That's like the booking into the corner thing you were talking about.
Yeah,
there's nowhere to go from that. So this, like you said, he looked strong. He had the clutch in, he had the choke on, and then Brock slips out, and it makes it look like it was more of a miraculous kind of thing. So it actually has some legs to it if they go down that direction. So I'm not completely mad at it, but I would have loved it if they had a longer match. A little more wrestling oriented, like amateur wrestling.
That would have been nice.
A little more submission wrestling going on, but I'm not mad. Like I said,
blur that line between UFC and WWE. And I mean, goddamn, if you're going to do that in any match, this has got to be the match that you do it, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
And so we didn't get that. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, based on the booking here, I don't really know where they're going, and I don't know with Brock.
Hopefully they wrestle again, because
hopefully you get a SummerSlam rematch.
I'm hanging on by a thread, and it's Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar and John Cena, and that's about it.
Yeah. So anyway, that was Great Balls of Fire. It was, once again, not a bad event, not an amazing event.
Check it out. I mean, it's worth checking out if you like wrestling. And I mean, there's some hits and misses, but it is what it is. But when I was doing my research for the podcast, because last week's Universal call out was sharks.
Sharks, the first time we had sharks, and what a Universal call out it was.
Man, I was just typing shit up. I was like, man, remember when Brock Lesnar F5'd a shark during that SummerSlam commercial a few years ago?
I had forgotten about that.
Dude, it hit me while I was typing it up. And I was just like, I got to put it on Instagram. Brock Lesnar F5'd the shark.
And we love you if you saw it.
And lo and behold.
We're looking at you, Instagram.
Yes.
Get your shit right.
Lo and behold, Sharks is our universal call out for this week on the same episode as Great Balls of Fire with Brock Lesnar as the main event, where he F5'd a toy shark 75,000 years ago when Eddie the Jerk was much more handsome and better looking.
Hey, better with age, like a fine wine. God damn it!
So the results of the last week universal call out: Sharks.
Sharks might have been our strongest results.
This is pretty impressive. Yeah, I mean, we had to dial it down because we had so many shark stories.
We had way too many shark stories, and they're all good.
So, Eddie the Jerk has always got your back, whether it's that progressive medicine, UFC, or how to prevent a shark from biting your ass. And we have that story here, and it is how to prevent a shark attack. And to prevent a shark attack, avoid swimming in areas with an unusual amount of fish where sharks could be searching for food.
Because you could be the food.
Don't go swimming at night, motherfucker. Don't swim alone because sharks tend to go after an isolated prey. If you're going to go out in the water,
bring a girl out there or something,
Bring somebody that can swim slower than you, for sure.
Yeah. You have to race them for a little bit and see, and then I guess we can go nighttime swimming up in the ocean.
Don't go swimming with any Olympic swimmers.
Yeah, don't go swimming with Michael Phelps. We'll talk about you later.
Yeah. And then if you encounter a shark, don't run away and keep eye contact with the shark.
And actually, you would have a hard time running away because you would be in the water.
Oh, for sure.
So you would be treading water, I believe. So if you're going to get away, you should probably swim.
Yeah. And then when trying to get away, keep facing the shark and move backwards slowly. This is all real shit.
Can I ask you a question?
This is all real shit.
Can I ask you a question? How do you keep eye contact with the shark? What if it's a hammerhead?
Oh,
which side do you look at? Do you just do you just spread your eyes out, or what the fuck?
I'm just staring at his teeth.
Yeah.
If I see them teeth coming at me, I'm throwing hammers.
Oh. You just hope that you have hammers on you. Hopefully you're like a carpenter or something. You have that carpenter belt.
Even with this advice column here, I'm still looking at the teeth all day because that's all I'm worried about. He can stare at me all he wants. I got my eyes on them teeth.
All eyes on you.
So, and if you do have to fight back against the shark, it is important for you to strike the shark's gills, eyes, and nose.
By the way, I'm
going for the nose.
When I hear this, I just think of those rape prevention videos, like the self-defense training. I want to see one of those with how to fight back against a shark. We should make that happen. One of these days, we will have the shark rape prevention.
No, a dolphin.
Oh, yes.
Dolphin rape.
Yes. Sharks are not rapists. Dolphins are. Dolphins just want to eat you and. Sharks just want to eat you, and dolphins just want to eat your genitals. So.
Yeah. So that wasn't our only shark story this week.
They keep coming.
What's the next one, Ray?
Yeah, so we have the man who was attacked on a nude beach by a shark.
Crazy. I hope he wasn't naked.
Yeah, I think he was actually naked.
Oh no. 44-year-old Elvin Lanza, I'm sorry, was I guess he was swimming and he got bit in both legs by a motherfucking great white shark.
Yeah. I guess this is so rare. It's only occurred 15 times in the recorded history in Miami-Dade coastal waters. So
yeah, and experts say nudity could make swimmers more appetizing to a wandering
he was
shark.
He was actually bit by a bull shark, by the way.
Oh, it was a bull shark?
Yeah,
oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's
There's
all good.
so many shark stories. I can't remember.
Yeah, they all kind of blend together. Apparently the animal was being harassed, I guess. So
it was.
Yeah, they were probably. Do you think he was helicoptering his fucking his dick at him?
I don't know, but I'll tell you right now, you're harassing a shark, you deserve to get your ass bit. That's all I'm saying.
And especially on a nude beach too.
Yeah, fuck that shit. You're playing with games with a shark. You should know better than that.
They say all the naked bodies in the water probably played no role. So, although there's another story I believe that actually does say that makes you more appetizing for them.
Yeah. And like the colored, the colors between, your white ass and your tan skin and shit, like your tan arms and your white butt and shit like that.
Yeah, so definitely, on a nude beach. I was just going to say, that's why you want to be on a nude beach, right?
That doesn't make sense. I don't know why that fucking guy wrote that shit.
Yeah, so, there's that guy. And then we
had another attack in Santa Cruz.
This was a great white. Attacked a kayak in Monterey Bay. There's actually a video of this thing too.
This is interesting because the shark attacked, but he didn't bite the person. He actually just bit this guy's boat.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. Steve Lawson, he said he was thrown from his kayak and watched the shark hanging on the front of his boat.
Wait. What was his name?
Steve Lawson.
Oh, I thought his name was Steve Austin.
No, almost. But the shark ended up leaving him alone, and Lawson was unharmed.
DTA.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Don't trust any sharks.
BMF up in this bad boy. If a shark
Big motherfucking shark.
yeah. If a shark bites your boat, you fall in the water, and the shark leaves you alone, that's pretty badass.
Yeah. He really just wanted to fucking eat that boat. They said he wanted the kayak as a chew toy. 14 fucking feet long, dude. White Mark show he had the whole girth of the boat in its mouth. Ooh. I don't know why we had to describe it in such a way. I actually didn't describe it that way.
I don't even think Brock Lesnar's fucking with that.
The website actually described it as that. So yeah.
Damn. Closed the beach down for 4 days after that shit.
Yeah. Sharks like it girthy. That's what we've learned here. So.
The sober podcast, and Ray is as sexual as ever.
Oh, when I get that feeling, I need shark sexual healing.
It's just the Coke, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was a sober podcast. Oh, sorry. Not that kind of Coke.
You left a little on your beard there, buddy.
Coke. This episode of the JOAT brought to you by Coca-Cola.
So after the Santa Cruz attack, we had the bull shark remains found off Trinity River near Houston, Texas.
Man, this thing looks fucked up too, man. This is a scary, scary looking picture. These are just pictures of people being
Apparently this dude was riding his four-wheeler and found a 5-foot shark along the riverbank. So he proceeds to take some pictures for Snapchat.
Of course.
Gotta get that Snapchat money going.
Did he put a filter on, do you think?
Probably.
Put that silly fucking dog face on it or something.
This guy should have been with the other guy fucking with the shark, got his legs
or the
bit.
little flower thing.
Yeah, I wish
around
the
the
shark
hair.
would have woke up and bit his ass real good.
Yeah, that would have. And so this was actually in Texas too. So I didn't realize there was so many sharks in Texas, but
yeah.
Apparently there are.
Very odd. Very rare for this to happen.
They checked the shark out. It didn't have any gunshot wounds. It had no fins cut off. They couldn't find any tire marks or footprints in the area. It looks like it just swam up there and died. So
suicide.
Yeah. Maybe was this that? Do you think that they tried to give him acid so they could talk to him and then
NASA?
Oh, that was dolphins again.
Yeah.
But anyway,
craziness.
Yeah. The bull shark in Houston, Texas. And the next up, we teased it. And
this is important to note that I guess this week coming up is Shark Week on the Discovery
It's
Network.
motherfucking Shark Week coming up,
and
which I did not know.
The randomizer's random. And if we ever do a live stream of this podcast, you'll see this is all. We don't toy with this at all. We don't do any prep with the randomizer. We put 10 in and we hit that button, and that's all we do. And
that's literally it.
You can give them the website once we get there, but you can do it for yourself and you can see it for yourself. We do not mess with this.
Nothing.
There's no tricks up our sleeve. This is just, it is what it is. And the universe just calls out to us and we bring it right back. So
yeah, Ray the Jerk talked about how he hasn't had cable in a long time. So Ray the Jerk doesn't have any good goddamn idea when fucking Shark Week is. And honestly, I never gave a shit about Shark Week in general. And I thought one of the very, very interesting things about this is that Shark Week actually debuted on July 18th, 1988. So
craziness.
By the time this podcast drops, it is going to be July 18th, 2017. How fucking weird that we had sharks. And we got Shark Week is coming up next week. So, and there is something pretty silly on Shark Week. And I thought it was fake. Actually, my girlfriend actually brought this up to me. And I was like, that's not real. Oh, wait, it fucking is. On Shark Week, we have Michael Phelps is going to race against a fucking shark.
Yeah, I heard about this a couple weeks ago on ESPN and stuff. July 23rd at 8 o'clock on the Discovery Network. This reminds me of Chris Johnson, the NFL player that raced a cheetah and got smoked pretty good.
Duh.
Michael Phelps, you're a great athlete. You're an American hero.
You smoke weed.
You like that green. But you ain't got a snowball's chance in hell in this game.
No.
And that was this. Is this a bull shark?
No, I think
great white.
I think
this is a great white.
I think he's battling against a great white.
Yeah, this great white's got your number. And I looked for the Vegas odds on this, and I couldn't find it. And I think they probably already recorded
How are they breaking this down? I'm really interested to know how they're like, how is he going to? He's not going to swim at the same time, right? Are they just going to have like a course or something that he's?
I don't know.
That's
what you got to tune in to find out.
I think it would just be great if they actually like. What if they put him in like an Olympic-sized pool and like the shark and him actually had to jump off the diving board at the same time? That would be great. And if they put goggles on the shark too.
What if they do this at SeaWorld or something? Maybe at one of those water parks, or not water parks, but
Blackfish.
Yeah. Or well, they did Chris Johnson and the cheetah simultaneously. They had a little course for them to run at the same time. So, yeah, usually when stuff like this happens, the animal dominates, and I expect nothing less. And even at 3,000 to 1, I would lay 3,000 on the shark to win $1.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
To win $100.
Yeah, he stands no chance. So
yeah, the shark's gonna win. So spoiler alert. But and then our last topic, one of Eddie the Jerk's favorite television shows, Shark Tanks.
I like Shark Tank too. It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Oh, absolutely. You know,
maybe Jerk of All Trades should get on to Shark Tank one of these days.
You never know.
Mr. Wonderful.
Jerk of All Trades
Wouldn't you love to have us in the show?
Coming your way. All roads lead to Mr. Wonderful.
Yes.
Shark Tanks.
Not Paul Orndorff.
Yeah. Shark Tanks Kevin O'Leary believes Tesla is unstoppable.
Tesla shares are unstoppable for now, according to Shark Tank star Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary. We have talked so much about Tesla, Elon Musk, how he's changing the game, and Jerk of All Trades is changing the game as well. And if we are on Shark Tank, we will change it even more. You best believe that, and you take it to the motherfucking bank.
Damn right.
Damn.
That's self-driving stock up in this bitch.
Boom.
Yep. And so, hey, I just found one, Ray. Great white shark pings off Bald Head Island in fucking, I don't know what state this is. But what is this shit right here?
This is fake news that Eddie the Jerk put online to try to make fun of Ray and his Chrome Dome, and I don't appreciate it.
How did this come up?
You made this story up. This is not true.
Bald Head Island.
This is not true.
Is that where you were born, Ray?
No, I was not born on Bald Head Island and Bald Head Beach
in
North Carolina.
Oh,
Snopes, can we please expose Eddie the Jerk for the person that he is?
This was Reddit, starnewsonline.com. I don't own this domain at all.
Oh, okay.
Great white shark.
I don't know what domain you own, and I don't trust you, not a good goddamn bit.
There's a research group, O-Search. They tracked a great white shark fitted with a tag that transmit his location whenever his fins break the surface. O-Search is doing a lot of stuff with sharks. They're actually trying to save millions and millions of sharks with their technology, because apparently they're dying left and right these days. And 9 days ago, he was swimming in Orlando, Florida, but recently has made his way to Bald Head Beach, North Carolina. So there you go, North Carolina. We're taking a trip there. We're doing some Snapchats and some selfies, and we're going to get Ray's Chrome Dome over there in North Carolina. Have a good time.
Oh, that was me cleaning my Chrome Dome.
Can't believe it. The Universal Call-Out never ceases to amaze us.
Thanks, Universal Call-Out. Thanks, fake news.
So just like these crazy-ass sharks, the Jerk of All Trades podcast is taking a bite out of that universe each and every week. You know how we do it. Ray, it's time for that Universal Call-Out yet again. Hit that randomizer. Let's see what we got.
Hold up, Eddie. Before we go into the Universal Call-Out, I need a little inspiration, so I want to randomly inspire us, and I want to do it via one Inspirobot quote.
Okay.
So before we go to our Universal Call-Out, let's do one Inspirobot and see what it gives us. So, Eddie, why don't you go first? You do the honors since you
thought we were just doing one.
So kind to me, and then I'll do one, and then, yeah.
Star News Online.
Thanks.
I'll let you, boy.
Yeah, I'll favorite it.
All right, we are generating, and I have a picture. It's the stars in the sky with a little haze, green haze.
I'm gonna close my eyes and imagine.
Yes, it looked pretty actually. Look at your own grave, love, unless you expect to shut up.
I believe that this is actually Ray's threat to Eddie.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. But
check your grave out, Eddie.
Look at your own grave, love, unless you expect to shut up. I don't get it.
I think
But
that
the InspiroBot delivers again.
I think that Eddie really knows what that means. So more Chrome Dome jokes, and that might
No.
resonate and ring more true than he will know.
I have no Chrome Dome. I have evidence right here.
Okay,
That's
all right.
InspiroBot
Okay,
right there.
now we will generate on my side. Here we go, green.
What you got, Ray?
Oh my God, I got nothing.
Oh, that's a first.
I'm not even kidding
You broke the SpiroBot?
I'm not even kidding
How
you.
dare you?
I
We just started a
clicked.
new feature on the
I clicked.
program, and you broke the goddamn
I'm not even
InspiroBot?
fucking with you. I generated and I got nothing. I just got a black box.
So you want me to do it?
No, I'm gonna try one more time.
All right, I got a backup.
Here we
case
go,
you need
here
it.
we
It's
go.
working for me.
Whoa, that was. I wonder if that's something that actually just happens on InspiroBot.
I got a good one for you here.
But I got politicians will always reinvent empty messages.
Wow,
And yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
I want to read mine because it's actually a good one.
give it to me.
Can you picture how it would be if the whole world would begin to fall in love?
Oh,
That's like a real thing. This is very un-InspiroBot, but I liked it.
I got my last one. I had to do another one. There are people who become business executives because they think that will make them happy.
Wow, another good one.
And it just
Are they
won't.
fixing this to make it to have it make sense?
I don't know, but that one
'Cause these
actually
are
does.
getting better.
That does actually make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what else is going to make you happy, and that is the universal call out. So
Yeah.
let's hit universal call out, and then
Let's
let's
do it.
hit the road. So let's go.
Are we going 10?
We're gonna go 10. We're changing
Okay.
it up real slightly this week. We're doing. Usually we just we just do topics. This week we're actually doing things. So we got 10 random things.
10 nouns, a person, a place, or a thing.
Here we go. So we got paper, we got keys, we got towel, we got a picture frame, a shirt, we got broccoli, we got a helmet, we got a chapter book, a doll, and a drawer.
I kind of like broccoli, but I don't know. These are kind of lacking. This
I was
week.
actually drawn towards broccoli. I was thinking doll as well.
Doll is a good one too. Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. Okay. Hold
All
on.
right, 2 and then shoot. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Fuck.
Yes. Yes.
Best 2 out of 3 falls.
No.
Ray wins.
So we actually threw. It's funny, by the way. Let's read the random things again. Are you ready?
Yes.
Number 1. Guess what the first thing was?
Paper.
Paper.
Oh,
It was actually paper.
You tricked me. And we
we
both threw paper.
we
twice.
actually both threw paper 2 times. Ray the Jerk threw paper. He was not giving up on paper. He threw it on the 3rd try.
You bastard.
Eddie transitioned
I thought
to
for
rock.
sure you were going scissors. How could you go paper 3 times? That's a horrible.
It's a mind game.
choice.
It's a mind game, and I knew that Eddie could not
Oh.
avoid the rock for too long, and I was gonna.
I can't avoid the rock.
I was gonna keep throwing paper. If you smell what Ray the Jerk is cooking,
Can't stop the rock.
so we're gonna do dolls. Dolls is going
All
to
right,
be
let's
the
do it.
universal call out for next week, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of fun stories. So give us some good stuff, universe. So before we're out, let's hit social media. Eddie, hit them with it.
All right, please subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and now on Twitch. We will be jackboxing it up live on Twitch. Just got that camera, trying to figure it out, and doing the damn thing on Twitch live every week. Check us out. And then, give us that rating, too, while you're there on iTunes. And comment if you haven't already on SoundCloud or wherever you get, the JOAT podcast.
And review. Give us a review.
And give us that review when you have a chance. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We're on Instagram.
You might even see us on Instagram if they fix the
our
hashtags.
Our hashtag spam ain't working out too well for us right now. So
No.
hopefully you go search us out on your own and hit that like button. If you got any questions for us, hit us up at the JerkOfAllTradesPodcast at gmail.com.
But don't put it's JerkOfAllTradesPodcast at gmail.com.
Oh, yes. I think they know.
Yeah,
And
probably.
we reply quickly, and we look forward to hearing from you. And of course, the official website is JOATpodcast.com.
Hit it up.
So
Check it out.
damn, Gina, we are out. Episode number 18 is in the books. The UFC, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather special with a little bit of Great Balls of Fire. We will see you next week with some doll stories. And we both love you.
We love you guys.
We are out.
See ya.